Okay guys, Paul's Path here. I had to turn the camera around because the other side of the camera seems to be a little dull or something, so hopefully everybody can see me. We're going to talk about the book a little bit. A few things in there that a lot of people don't understand. We went over before. It's not just the steps. But if you go to page 64, okay, and they're talking about resentments of the number one offender, okay? This is kind of important. This is kind of how we basically survive, okay? This is how we survive. On page 64, it says, all right, that the number one offender is the resentment. It destroys more alcoholics than anything else. From its stem all forms of spiritual disease, for we have been not only mentally and physically ill, we have been spiritually sick. So we're mentally and physically ill and we're spiritually sick. Okay? When the spiritual malady is overcome, we straighten out mentally and physically. In dealing with resentments, we set them on paper. We listed people, institutions, or principles with whom we were angry. We asked ourselves, why were we angry? In most cases, it was because we found that our self-esteem, our pocketbooks, and our ambitions. Okay, so what does this mean? What does this mean? We have not only been physically and spiritually sick, we not only been spiritually sick, but we have been mentally and physically sick as well. Do we know what that means? Because it's important to know what that means, okay? A lot of people don't know what that means. They think, well, we start to work out, we get in shape and physically, and then mentally we start to think better, and it's wrong. It's all wrong, okay? So this is why when you get to these meetings and stuff, you got to be careful to get a good sponsor. You can call me. Please call me. I'm available all the time. Nobody does, but I shouldn't say nobody does. A lot of people do, but I could handle a lot more people, calling me and asking me for help, because I like to help people. So what it means is the spiritual malady is overcome by working the steps. We're going to live along spiritual basis. We're going to look at the things that are blocking us from God, okay? We're going to make a decision to do that between two steps, 1 and 2. We've mentioned it many times. Insanity or death, life on a spiritual basis. Now we're going to start straightening out spiritually. And then we're going to work the steps. And we work the steps, we straighten out spiritually. So when the spiritual malady is overcome, we straighten out mentally and physically. A lot of people know what that means, but not many new people know what that means. And what that means is, when we work the steps and the spiritual malady is overcome, we no longer have the mental obsession. So we straighten out mentally. And if we no longer have the mental obsession, we don't have to even worry about the physical allergy if we didn't take the first drink to begin with. So when the spiritual malady is overcome by working the steps, we straighten out mentally by the obsession being lifted, and we straighten out physically because we don't have to worry about the physical allergy because we didn't take the first drink to begin with. These are important things that we got to know. That's the solution. The solution is to straighten out spiritually, have the spiritual malady overcome so the obsession can be lifted, and we won't have to trigger the allergy with that first drink. And that's very important information. There's a lot of stuff in there. Like in the back of the book somewhere. This is important too. 561. I'll go over some important stuff that I think is really important. In the back of the book, it says 561. It says, it says under the A tradition. Okay? 561. This is very important. Okay. The A tradition. To those now in its fold, Alcoholics Anonymous has made the difference between misery and sobriety, and often the difference between life and death. AA can, of course, mean just as much to uncounted alcoholics not yet reached. There's millions of alcoholics that they're going to die if the hand of AA is not there to greet them, Therefore, no society in the world, no society in the world of men and women ever had a more urgent need for continuous effectiveness. We got to be effective, right? And permanent unity. We got to hang together, right? We alcoholics see that we must work together and hang together, else most of us will finally die alone. They're not joking. We're going to die alone unless we work together, help each other, and hang together. It's very serious. There's so many, our very lives as ex-problems are depend on constant thoughts of others and how it may help meet their needs. You know, we work step 10, so we work it all, we do it all, we look at the stuff, we remove it, we look at the resentments and selfishness and fear, and we ask God to remove it, and we're going to talk to somebody about it if we have to, and make an amends, so we can resolutely turn our thoughts to somebody we can help. Love and tolerance of others is our code. Unless we're thinking about other people, we're thinking about me. Let's just say I'm chocolate cake. I'm chocolate cake. And if you tell me don't think about chocolate cake, Paul, I'm going to think about chocolate cake more. It's crazy, right? How do you stop thinking about chocolate cake? Lemon pie. See how that works? Lemon pie. I'm either thinking about chocolate cake, which is me, or I'm either thinking about lemon pie, which is you. I'm either thinking about you, and that's where the recovery is, or I'm thinking about me, and that's where the disease is. So I want you guys, there's so many things in there that we're going to go over in the next few months. If you don't understand it, text me, call me. If you got any questions, call me, text me. What else do you have to lose? You know, yeah, it's hard to detox. I've been there, detoxed for 4 years on and off. I was not an easy study, if that's what they call it, but I finally got this thing. And I got it now, one day at a time. I don't have it forever. I get easily relapse, but I got it today. When I say I got it, I mean I no longer suffer from the disease of alcoholism. I no longer have the obsession of the mind, or the allergy of the body, or the spiritual malady. But that can change, because remember Carl Jung said, our old ideas, attitudes, and emotions will be cast to one side. They didn't disappear. They would just cast to one side, and a whole new set of conceptions and motives become the driving force in our life. If we work the steps, other people will become more important. We'll lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Our whole thinking will change. Our ideas will change. Our conceptions will change. If we don't work this program and we get away from it, our old ideas and attitudes and emotions will come back. We'll become the same person again. And trust me when I tell you, the same person will drink again. So we need a personality change sufficient to recover from alcoholism. And this is how you do it. And if you look in the back of the book under Spiritual Awakening, all it says is it's just a personality change sufficient to recover from alcoholism. What can I do for you? Not what you can do for me. And that's all I got, guys. I hope you got something out of it. It's very, very important stuff. And it's life-saving stuff. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to go through some of the stuff that's important. We'll go through the steps again later. Every now and then I'm going to go over step 1 because it's the most important. And just remember, we have to do this every day. This is not an overnight matter. It has to continue for our lifetime. If you think you can get 30 days sober, try it. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but I couldn't get 30 some days sober, get away from the program and stay sober. I know that for sure. My first relapse was at 32 days sober. I felt great, looked great, got a new job. Everything's going good. Wife likes me again. I stopped going at 32 days sober. And in about 50 days, I lost the wife, the job, and the kid, and I was homeless within 18 days. We got to keep doing it. Okay, guys, I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. I got to turn the phone around because there was a problem with the video, but I will chat at you tomorrow. Love you all.